Hi, my name's Jason Bonham and welcome to my kit. Well, as you can see, as you probably panned up there, you'll notice slightly different, reminiscent of the old man's. Yes, I love the Vista lights, but this is a very special Vista light kit. I managed to persuade my dear friend, Mr. John Good at DW, just for this Jason Bonham Led Zeppelin Experience tour, which I'm on at the moment, to make me a Vista light set. I had to twist his arm, but they did do it for me. But you can't buy it, so don't ask him, as he said. I am back with DW drums. For this particular setup, I choose the same sizes as what the old man used to use. And if any of you are aware who's the old man, Mr. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. Basically, I use a 26-inch kick, which is slightly different to Dad's, but the fact that this is a 16-inch deep rather than the 14, which he used to use. The first rack tom, exactly the same size as his green sparkle set, and his Vista light, which is the 14 by 10 deep. Old classic sizes for the floor toms, 16 by 16, 18 by 16. One of my old favourite pride and joys that my friend good Todd Trent gave me, which is an old anniversary Ludwig snare, which I use for the Zeppelin stuff. Of course, in the studio, it's all drum workshop, of course. My dear friends at Zildjian, lots of people ask me, why didn't you go back to Paiste when you did the Led Zeppelin thing? Well, Zildjian have been in my family now for over 25 years. We are very dear friends. I have so many great friends there, and I stayed with them. You know, cymbals are cymbals, personal choice, but I've got the 15-inch Master Sounds, A's at the top. You know, big sounding cymbals, 21-inch Crash Ride, K, another 21-inch Crash Ride there. My 24-inch favourite, myself and Zach Starkey, the Light Ride, 24. I use a few tricks, got a little bit of timpani for the Zeppelin set, of course. You've got to have one of those. The gong, of course, we'd have to have the gong. I think I only use it twice, but it's there and looks fantastic. And also this is my little box of tricks from Roland. Nice people at Roland. I use it for various things really. Sometimes when we are in a smaller place, and because we use the video screens and the content is so important that it's seen, I actually use the gong in the sampler, which is great. But it's one of those things that every musician wants to take away from the drummer. It's a box of tricks that can make noise, and it annoys the sound man, it annoys the techs, it annoys the hell out of everybody. But it's a great piece for writing with. Love it very much. Usual thing, I use my own brand, ProMark sticks. Started to use the stick wrap. I found it was just easier, just so I didn't have to hold the stick as tight. Wasn't constantly licking my hands. I use a maple stick, which is a bit bizarre, but it's basically for the extra length and the size I want. I didn't want the extra weight, so that's why I use maple. It's pretty an unusual setup in some ways. The video screen over here is for when I do Moby Dick with Dad. Instead of just hearing him, it's actually better to anticipate and watch him as well as I'm playing with him. The major part of it is the anticipation when he's doing things. And that is one of the highlights of the show, I must say that. To get to play that with Dad is a joy. Because at home we only ever had one drum kit, so we never actually played together. So that is very cool. The other thing on this is the fact that I'm using in-ears, but mostly my sound is coming from this little condenser mic back here, which is compressed the hell out of. And you get this real great squished kind of drum sound, which it works perfectly for what I'm doing here. The same as having these big side fills, I just have the subs working to give it some extra low end. But it's been going great. I've had a fantastic time on this tour. This is the second date we're doing on this leg of 20. I'm really looking forward. We've got the Greek coming up, which is virtually sold out. So I'm over the moon. I never imagined in my wildest dreams that I could play and represent my father's music in such a way that people would really want to come and see it, because I would do this, you know, all the time. But obviously, it's one part of my life. It's not all of my life. I have also my band Black Country Communion, which we have the new album coming out in June. So I'll be out on the road in June and July and August with those boys, Glenn Hughes, Joe Bonamassa and Derek Sherinian. Thank you very much.